Are you on the UK's terror watch list for mainstream beliefs? I probably am. Let me ask you a question. Do you care about British culture? Have you ever worried about mass immigration? Well, congratulations. You might already be on the UK government's terror watch list. No, seriously, this isn't satire. This is Britain in 2025, and things have gone absolutely bonkers. Hello to you, I'm Ben Leo, and this is GB News Originals. Please don't forget to subscribe to the GB News YouTube channel. All right, let's rewind a bit, shall we? The UK's Prevent programme was launched after 9/11, and it was designed to stop real terrorists. Think bomb plots, stabbings, car attacks, and actual terrorist threats. It was supposed to steer vulnerable people away from radicalisation to keep us, you and me, safe from those who do us harm. But now, Prevent has morphed into something pretty Orwellian. Instead of focusing on genuine threats such as Islamism, it's sniffing out your aunt's Facebook post about Yorkshire puddings and British bulldogs. The government's own training module tells public sector workers, such as teachers, nurses, even librarians, that cultural nationalism is a red flag for right-wing extremism. Yes, caring about the direction of travel for your own country is now right-wing extremism. So what is cultural nationalism? Well, according to the government, it's the belief that Western culture is under threat from mass migration and a lack of integration by certain ethnic and cultural groups. In other words, if you're worried about the pace of change in your town, you could be flagged as a potential right-wing terrorist. What a joke. Let that sink in for a second, because the line between criminal intent and awkward dinner conversation is fast vanishing. If you say something that would have been front page news in, say, 2003, you could now be flagged as an extremist. And it's not just random people either. Even former government ministers like Sir Jacob Rees-Mogg could be flagged for expressing views that were once mainstream and considered normal just a few years ago. The definition is so fuzzy, so confused, it could apply to politicians across the spectrum. And yes, even Labour's Sir Keir Starmer, the Prime Minister, or Robert Jenrick of the Tories. Here's where it gets very dystopian though, because if you're flagged by Prevent, your name goes into a sprawling government database for 6 years. Who gets to see this? Intelligence agencies, the police, and bizarrely, the tax authorities too. Using the internet without a VPN, a virtual private network, is a bit like taking to the road without car insurance. All it takes is one unlucky moment to cost you a lot of cash. This video's sponsor is Private Internet Access. They are the VPN to help keep you safe. Click the link in the description below to find out why over 30 million people have downloaded PIA to protect themselves online. A virtual private network is an app that hides your IP address and helps keep your data private. When you're browsing the internet at home, you give up a large amount of data to businesses, to shops, and indeed to social media giants too. Hackers have the ability to steal your personal data with ease, including sensitive information such as passwords, keystrokes, and even your personal photos. Private Internet Access helps protect your personal data by encrypting your internet connection to keep your data out of the hands of cybercriminals. And it's not just hackers either to be concerned about. Information can be censored too. When Canada passed their C-18 bill, social media giants decided to ban news content on their platforms. But PIA can protect your ability to consume the news and content you love. Private Internet Access is available for Windows users, Mac OS, Android, Linux, iOS, and you can use one PIA subscription to protect an unlimited amount of devices. And we've got a huge GB News discount for you too. Click the link in this video's description and you'll get a massive 83% off PIA. That's under £2 a month, the price of a coffee, and you'll get an extra 4 months completely free on top. Also, there's a 30-day money-back guarantee too. Visit piavpn.com/GB News to start protecting yourself digitally today. And you don't even have to commit a crime. You don't even have to break the law either. Just being politically incorrect is enough to get referred. There are real-life examples to this too. There was a 24-year-old autistic man referred for watching edgy comedy and browsing the wrong corners of the internet. Yes, you heard that right. No evidence of extremism, no illegal plans, but into the database he went, like a suspect in a crime that hasn't even been invented yet, and he's on the watch list. And this isn't just a concern for columnists and so-called freedom lovers. Even people who used to run the UK's counter-extremism efforts are sounding the alarm. Professor Ian Aitchison, who advised the Home Office, says we're criminalising beliefs, thought crimes, perfectly legitimate ones. He warns that the prevent referral mechanism is now built on training that targets beliefs and not conduct. And Sir William Shawcross, who reviewed prevent, he found that even former cabinet ministers were being swept up in the net because their views on immigration and national identity are now considered, for some reason, so taboo. His review was brutal. He said prevent is inconsistent, wasteful and politically biased, and he called for the ideological neutrality and real standards, both of which are treated like endangered species in government circles. Who would have thought it? So what does the Home Office say about this? Well, they claim prevent isn't about restricting debate or free speech. Of course they would. That's like saying speed cameras aren't about catching drivers. They're just sat there watching. But as the gap widens between what prevent claims to be and what it actually does, it's hard to believe this is just mission creep. At best, I'd say it's incompetence dressed up as concern, and at worst, and maybe this is the truth, it's state ideology masquerading as national security. And by the way, we've seen that many times before. Let's talk about real-world consequences to this too. The Daily Telegraph recently reported that a pensioner was wrongly arrested for warning about anti-Semitism on Twitter. Another man got a criminal sentence for burning the Quran, and these aren't isolated incidents. They're part of a broader trend of restricting free speech in the name of security. And let's not forget Prevent's failures too. The programme was the subject of a damning report 2 years ago after it failed to stop the Southport killer Axel Rudabakana, despite him being referred to Prevent 3 times. So who's not on the list? Even if the Tory old guard are being branded extremists, you do have to wonder where this ends. Are we criminalising everyone who doesn't toe the official line? Are we building a society where merely expressing concern about the future of Britain lands you in a government database? This isn't just about one programme or one government, it's about the kind of country we want to live in. Do we want to be a nation where legitimate debate is stifled, where mainstream beliefs are treated like dangerous secrets, and perhaps where the state polices not just our actions, but our thoughts? Because I'd argue we're pretty much there now. And if you're watching this and thinking, well, this sounds crazy, well, congratulations, you might already be on the list. So what can you do at home? I'd argue, stay informed, speak up, demand accountability from those in power, and be brave and courageous. Do not let them win, and do not let them stifle your free speech, because if we don't stand up for free speech and common sense, we may find we wake up one day to find that both have suddenly vanished, and we're all suspects in a crime that hasn't been defined yet. If you found this video eye-opening, hit like down below, and please subscribe, and of course share it with your mates too. Let's keep the conversation going while we still can. Thanks for watching. I'm Ben Leo. See you next time.